Serious financial health warning out there to UK directors. A new law has been introduced that closes the loophole of trying to dissolve a company with debts. So, there are tens of thousands of directors out there who have in the past used a loophole to close a company and basically avoid the investigation of an insolvency practitioner. It was called dissolving a company, okay? It cost £10 as opposed to £4 or £5 to use an insolvency practitioner. Now, I'm going to tell you what this new law is because it's surprising how many people do not know about the new law. It's called the Ratings, coronavirus in brackets, and Directors, Disqualification, Dissolve Companies in brackets, Act 2021. Bit of a mouthful. It's basically received royal assent back in December. And what it basically means is it allows the Insolvency Service to investigate and disqualify directors who have used the strike-off process inappropriately. So what's an appropriate use of a strike-off? Well, quite simply, if your business has no debts and you want to close the company, you can apply to strike it off the Registry at Companies House. Equally, if you write to your creditors and they agree to the strike-off, you can strike it off also. So I've done videos on that. You might owe HMRC a little bit of money. You've got nothing, no cash, no assets, and you write to them to let them know that you're going to attempt to strike the company off. But if you've taken a bounce back loan, right, strike-off is not an option. It's just not. Because this bill has been brought in because of that. Okay? Back in Q1 of 2021, okay, a year almost to the date that these bounce back loans were introduced, the increase in attempted strike-offs, I'm laughing, it's not funny, was up 743%. Do you think there were some directors who tried to use this loophole to avoid paying back the bounce back loan? You can bet your bottom dollar they did. Now, the problem is the banks cannot claim on their guarantee from the government if you've struck the company off. So do you think that the banks are going to be happy with not being able to claim their money from the government? Now, what it goes on to say, here that a director could be made to pay compensation. Do you know what that means? It means personal liability. So if you attempt to strike a company off and somehow it slips through the net and you've took a bounce back loan, well, when the Insolvency Service looks at this and when the bank reports it, which they will, you're going to be made to pay compensation to the creditors that have lost out. It's really not worth it. So, what can you do instead of striking a company off? Well, liquidation. If you're insolvent, liquidation is probably the right answer. Now, you can do it voluntarily. You can use a company that you appoint. Yes, it's going to cost you some money, but you might be able to fund it with a director's redundancy claim. Or you can speak to the bank and ask them to forcibly wind your company up. But both of those processes end up in a liquidation, which means the company's closed down formally and legally, and the bank are allowed to reclaim their money from the government. Strike-offs, when you've got a bounce back loan, is a bad idea. I hope you found this video useful. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a link in the comments to the new laws. You know, this is not Chris's spin on things. This is fact. I hope you found the video useful. All the best. Chris Worden,